أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is the chapter 1 of the book USMAN DANFODIO, the great reformer of West Africa. The life of USMAN DANFODIO. This chapter will briefly discuss Sheikh DANFODIO's life, shedding light on the religious and social environment in which he was brought up. Background. According to the political dispensation of the day, Sheikh Usman was a citizen of Gobir Kingdom. It was one of the kingdoms of Hausa land, which formed part of the vast area south of the Sahara Desert known as Central Sudan. The Arabs called it the countries of the Sudan or Tukrur, while the British called it the Niger Coast Protectorate. Before the 19th century, when the jihad of DANFODIO took place, the area was divided into several independent states with different customs and traditions. Among these were the Hausa states, which, although independent from each other, were nevertheless brought together by the common language they spoke. According to some historians, Islam entered this area between the 11th and 14th centuries of the Christian era. However, it was not until the middle of the 14th century that the religion was introduced into Hausa land, when Ali Yaji, the king of Kano, accepted Islam. He reigned between 1349 to 1385. Soon after, the religion spread to all the areas of Hausa land. In the beginning of the 18th century, there were 16 states in central Sudan. Some of these, like the Borno Empire, were considered Muslim states, while others were thought to be non-Muslim territories, even though there were Muslims living within their borders. During this period, the whole of this region, especially the Hausa states, was faced with social, political, economic, and religious problems. The people were steeped in ignorance and entangled by traditions and customs that were to a large extent un-Islamic. Sheikh Usman divided the inhabitants of these areas into three categories. The first category comprises of Muslims of sound belief and fairly enlightened about the teachings of the religion. They did not practice customs that would revoke one's faith. The second is composed of pure unbelievers who did not claim to be Muslims and never smelled the scent of Islam. The third consists of a group of people who mixed Islamic practices with those of paganism. They prayed, fasted, and gave out zakat, but at the same time committed all sorts of damnable sins, al-kaba'ir. They also engaged in pagan practices such as revering certain natural objects like trees, rocks, rivers, etc. They paid homage to graves and sought spiritual favors from the dead. Majority of the inhabitants of Hausa land belonged to this category and included the kings and the nobility as well as the common man. On the political front, there was much instability. Wars between different states were rampant, while slave raids, robberies, and general insecurity were the order of the day. Inside the states, there were tensions and insecurity due to ethnic differences and the oppression and injustice of rulers. Unjust taxes and oppressive levies and tributes overburdened the people, while rulers maintained their high-handedness, with some of them behaving like demigods. Women were particularly oppressed. They were denied education and subjected to very harsh treatment. Even the wives and daughters of scholars were not exempted. USMAN DANFODIO harped on this in one of his books. One of the matters which are responsible for the prevalence of tribulation in this land is the practice of many of the scholars, whereby they leave their wives and daughters and slaves neglected like cattle without teaching them what Allah enjoins on them regarding the articles of their faith, their ablutions, their prayers, their fasting, and other things, which Allah commands that they should be taught, such as the things permitted to them on their sale transactions and similar matters. This is a grievous error and a forbidden innovation. They treat them like household utensils, which are used until they are broken and then thrown into the rubbish heap. If this is the situation of the wives and daughters of scholars, that of the other women in society may better be imagined. The Fodio family. Sheikh Uthman was born into a family that was famous for scholarship, piety, and morality. Male and female members of the family were known to be great scholars. Sheikh's father, Muhammad, was nicknamed Fuduye, later corrupted as Fodio because of his learning. Uthman did his elementary studies under his mother, Hawwa'u, and maternal grandmother, Ruqayyatu. The family had produced many scholars who excelled in different branches of Islamic knowledge, such as fiqh, hadith, tafsir, and the Arabic language. This made it easy for Sheikh Uthman to have a foundation of learning from early in life. DANFODIO's genealogy. Sheikh Uthman DANFODIO's full name is Abu Muhammad Uthman, son of Muhammad Fuduye, son of Uthman, son of Salihu, son of Ayyuba, son of Haruna, son of Muhammad Gordo, son of Muhammad Jabbu, son of Muhammad Sambu, son of Ayyuba, son of Masirana, son of Ayyuba, son of Abu Bakr, son of Musa Jokollo. Musa Jokollo, the 12th forefather of DANFODIO, was the first to migrate from Futa Toro, now in Mali, and settle in Hausa land about 500 years prior to Uthman's birth. DANFODIO's epithets. Uthman DANFODIO was given a number of epithets or nicknames that showed his status and how he was admired and highly esteemed by his contemporaries. They include Sheikhu, from the Arabic Sheikh, Mujaddid, that is a reformer, Nuruz Zaman, light of the times, DANFODIO, son of the learned, Gegame Uban Tambura, he who speaks and others listen, and so on. These epithets are a testimony of how Uthman DANFODIO was highly regarded in life. Sheikh's clan. Like the Arabs, the Fulani organized their society along a line of clans and families. Each clan had its leadership hierarchy, with the eldest person in the clan, the patriarch, enjoying the final authority in matters pertaining to the family or clan. This system helped to strengthen kinship ties and maintain peace and harmony in society. Uthman DANFODIO belonged to the Torobbe Toronkawa clan, which was famous for learning and leadership. Fulani people as a whole trace their origin to Uqba bin Nafi', the companion of the Prophet, who led one of the jihad campaigns to North Africa. The Fulani have been divided by historians into two main groups, the nomadic Fulani and the settled Fulani. The first group did not mix themselves with the settled Fulani, while the settled Fulani intermarried with and mixed with the Hausas until they became one group now called the Hausa Fulani. Shehu DANFODIO's birth. USMAN DANFODIO was born on Sunday, the last day of the month of Safar, 1168 years after Hijrah, which is equivalent to 18th October 1754. He was born at Degel, a village north of the River Rima and about 60 miles from Alkawa, the capital of the Kingdom of Gobir. Some historians say that he was born in Maratha and that he was brought to Degel as an infant. Chapter 1 to be continued. The next subheading is Usman's studies and early life. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.